So one of the questions that Heather asked me is that you have the reverse effect of our students. Yes, I do. But my problem is both ways. When I go there, I have a scar, I have a wound that doesn't heal or gets hurt all the time because you see things. And when you come back here, you also see things. So it's very, very difficult for some of us who chose to leave our home countries and chose to have a new countries. It's the most challenging things. I took this next picture in 1988, and this boy reminds me of me, bare feet, carrying a whole plow. Cannot be an easy load, but the oxen are ahead of him, and he's following them, and he's going to plow the piece of land. Every time I see this picture, it reminds me, it could have been me. It could have been just simply me. So, but again, things change. Like I told you, when my father came to the city, he was a policeman earning $25 local money, barely making it throughout the year, throughout the month. But they told us to go to school. My parents could never read or write. They can't. The teachers, they will write our report card in a blue or black ink, but if we fail, it will be a red one. So that means we didn't do well. I think maybe likely I never brought a red mark on my transcript, but that's how they communicated with our teachers. So, now, there's some pictures in here. High school seniors in 1980, and then college freshmen. This is, one of them is in Asmara, and the college was in Addis Ababa. We went to Addis Ababa. These are four of my friends. Actually, there were also some other people that are not in this picture, but we went to school from early childhood. Okay, I'm going to keep you here probably until 8. If I can keep you awake, or I don't know if the ACM is going to be charged more by keeping you here, but I think the ACM can afford today. We start, 5 of us, we start church school or Sunday school, because we went to school when we were ready to get to elementary school, first grade, and they told us, how old are you? And we didn't know how old we are. There were too many kids for the school, so the measure for a little kid to go to school, whether they are ready or not, is not their birth certificate or whether they were born between September 10 or something like that. It is if they can touch their ears. If they can touch their ears, they are ready. If they cannot, go back to church school. So, did you do something there? So 5 of us, we couldn't touch our ears, so we spent 1 year at the church school, and I think we did a good job. And then the next year, we wanted to go to school, so we told them, no, we don't have to touch our ear. Please let us in. So they let us in. And in high school, we all want to be different. You know, I want to be a medical doctor. One of my friends wanted to be a pharmacist. The other wanted to be an engineer. So we all had different things. But this was in 1980, and then in Ethiopia at that time, it was a communist country. You have no choice but to get in where they sent you to a department. So my freshman year, I was enrolled in this department called Geology. I hardly knew anything about geology. Didn't even know. I knew something about geography. And then the rocks that go by our house. That's it. So I was very mad. This was in 1980. And then a professor of mine, when he was teaching us, he got this Newsweek magazine and he was reading it. And he said, a volcano in western United States, in the state of Washington, erupted, Mount St. Helens. And he went on and on. And then there was a geologist who was trying to sample the gases before the eruption. He drove his Land Cruiser to the top of the mountain, and then the mountain blew, and the geologist also blew with him. So my eyes got bigger. My eyes got bigger because, wow, he was trying to sample gases. And you know, the first name of that geologist, his name was John. I forgot his name now, but he was also the state geologist who was protecting Mount St. Helens. But He happens to be among the 50 people who died. So I was not taking notes, but I did very well, and I joined the geology department. That was history. I must have done okay. And then they sent me to the geological survey, and my first job was mapping. I just like to map. I just like to map. But I got this phrase at a Carleton graduation ceremony, and I forgot, I don't know the person who wrote it, but it just to this day, it fascinates me. Gates of heaven have hinges that are inconsequential. It doesn't matter which way it opens. It doesn't matter if it has hinges. If it's your fate, you're in. There is no need for the gate or for the door. So to me, to this day, it just puzzles me the serendipity. Because today probably there is no serendipity, because today we look in the internet and we search things and we find because we search them. But as soon as I joined the geological survey, I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought I was very smart. They sent me for mapping. They sent me to look for gold, and I did a good job. But then I found myself with an undergraduate degree very challenged. I couldn't do any mapping. I couldn't identify some of the rocks or the processes that deposit gold and things like that. So I was thinking maybe I should go to college. But in Africa, especially in Ethiopia or in Eritrea, if you get a chance to go to college once, that is lucky. You're lucky. There is no second chance, or there is no way you can go to graduate school. So while I was just mapping, a scholarship came from the United Nations Development Program, funded by World Bank, and about 300 people applied, and I got it. And this scholarship comes with a lot of money to send you abroad. They told me you can apply wherever you want to go. I applied, and I was accepted at Imperial College and UCLA. And while I was getting ready to go to these schools, or to one of them, the manager of the geological survey said, no, we're not going to send you to the United States or England because it costs too much. We're going to send you to India with 19 other friends of yours. I was very happy. You have no idea. I was so happy because I am going to go to the University of Roorkee, about 185 miles west of New Delhi, with 19 of my friends, rather than UCLA or Imperial College. So I got everything accepted and got a visa to go to India. About a week later, the manager says, no, you're not going to go, we're going to keep you. We're going to find you another scholarship and we'll send you to your original scholarship. This time I was very mad. I told him I am going to go with my friends to India. After so many arguments, he said, no, this is our decision. So while this was happening, a tall man from the University of Utah came to Addis Ababa looking for students. Dr. Frank Brown was his name. And he said, I need a student. And then they gave him 6 of us for interview. And I don't know, sometimes it's luck. I just read something that day about this scientist from Kenya and from Utah. They found a hominid fossil that was 1.6 million years old from west of Lake Turkana. So I read that in the newspaper, and then during the interview, when I asked Dr. Brown, what do you do? He said, oh, he is a geologist for the Kenyan Wiki group. I said, oh, so you found that fossil. That was it. Salt Lake City, Utah. I got my PhD at the University of Utah. I went to Africa many times doing research for some of you, for all of you those who are doing research. Doing research abroad is so difficult, even if you are from abroad. Even if you are from abroad, it's very difficult. I had so many unexpected nights. I had so many unexpected nights. I had so many flat tires. But I managed to finish my PhD. Didn't know what I was going to do after my PhD. I was clueless. I was fairly young. A job came. A friend of mine told me, oh, there's a job at Carleton College that you have to apply. Where is Carleton? In Minnesota. Oh, no, Minnesota is very cold. I thought this one. Because when I came to Utah, they told me it was -5 degrees Celsius. On the phone, Dr. Brown told me it's -5 degrees Celsius and you need a big jacket and boots. And after I hung up, I said, Dr. Brown cannot be right. How could it be -5 degrees Celsius? How could it be below 0